Hi everyone, and welcome to another Candy Jack's Bookshelf. I feel like I'm doing one of these maybe once a year at this point now. They ain't happening often, that's for sure. But I recently acquired a book that I thought would be fun to talk about, and this would be just kind of a nice little quick video because I did want to do a Shark Week related video. I've been kind of busy and just scheduling, it didn't really work out. I would have to like really super rush it and it just wouldn't be very good. We're going to be doing that next week, so that's good. At least we get to extend our Shark Week festivities. So anyway, we're just doing a quick video for this week because I did at least have time to do this. So, and what I have here, Frankenstein by Junji Ito. So this is a manga book. This is my first of those. I've never read one of these before. So this is an entirely new experience. You know, I've heard of these things before. I knew that they were the weird backwards comic book things, but never actually read one because they've never looked interesting. I feel like a lot of anime and manga related content is just nowhere near my plane of interest. Throughout my life, on numerous occasions, I would try to kind of acquire a taste for anime type stuff because I feel like almost any time I'm in a social situation, I'm around people that can just go on about anime for ages. Anime and video games, those are like the two things that always get brought up when I'm in any social situation I'm around. Like, I'm always around geeky sort of people, but they always just kind of latch onto one of those two topics, and then I'm just kind of sitting in the corner like, okay. I mean, I like a broad variety of, I guess what you call geeky things, but I guess I chose wrongly. I'm never going to be in a group of like 5 random people and they're going to suddenly bring up like the works of Ray Harryhausen or the Roger Corman Poe films or anything like that. Those are the kind of things that are not going to get brought up. But I'm going to have to hear for eons about. This is where I'm supposed to give an example of anime thing, but I don't even know. So yeah, I've just been trying to find a way to acquire maybe some taste in these things so when they do get brought up, I can at least have some sincere input into the conversation. Like, oh yeah, I've heard of that, and I have this opinion about it. You know, it's always nice when you can do that, but it doesn't happen often for me, so. Well, still not really finding much in the realm of actual like anime, meaning the animated stuff, and not really seeing a lot there that interests me. Somebody did recommend the works of Junji Ito, who I guess specializes in horror kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, well that would be a good bridge to get into this. And I found a whole selection of his stuff at a Barnes & Noble's. It was just kind of looking like hemming and hawing, like, do I really want to spend any money on these? It would be sort of a gamble. Then I saw this one, which is, as you can tell, an adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which is one of my favorite books. I got it somewhere over there. But yeah, one of my favorite books, one of my favorite stories in general. I love watching different adaptations of it. You know, that the Karloff Frankenstein is among one of my favorite movies. I think it's safe to say I'm a very big Frankenstein fan, so it's like, what a great way to sort of, you know, maybe at least give this a try. Like I said, this is basically just an adaptation of Frankenstein in, you know, comic form. I would say follows the original book pretty closely with a few changes here and there, nothing drastic. Like I'd say it follows the book about as well as, let's say, that Robert De Niro Frankenstein movie did. I'll just say this was a good adaptation of one of my favorite stories, so that was nice. There's that, but then you keep going. There's some other short stories in here. And I will say this was confusing at first, figuring out how to navigate these. Sometimes when I just read a normal comic book, I'm not a huge comic book fanatic in general. Like, I do like them. I have some stuff up there, but they're not always they're just not my favorite thing to read. I'll read things out of order because of the weird way the panels are laid out. It's like, oh, I was supposed to read this first, not that. Maybe I'm too geeky. I actually just prefer normal ass books with text. But then on one of these books, everything is literally backwards, so it's like, I would do, yeah, from right to left. That's how you're supposed to do it. So that's not just the pages, it's like the way that the panels are laid out. The speech bubbles are all backward. Everything is backward. I mean, it wasn't like a major conquest or anything. It was just like, in under a minute I figured it out, but it was just like a thing that my brain did have to process. Like, oh, you do it this way. Now I get it. I guess maybe this is a good page I can just sort of hold up. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's like weird, like, people with long necks that extend out in a weird sort of way. So there's lots of good, like, weird mutated-y kind of creatures and rotted corpses and things. I couldn't help but look at this and think this would look really nice in a live-action adaptation, like practically made special effects. And I know, like, usually with a manga, the obvious solution is adapted into an anime, but it really just visually anime just doesn't do a lot for me. But this would look really. I think it's said in the back of the book there have been some live action adaptations of some of his stuff, so maybe I'll look into that. I don't know if it's good or bad or not. I know they did an anime adaptation, but I've heard bad things about it. But even if it sucks, I'm probably more likely to check that out than most other anime related things. I don't really even know what I'm talking about anymore. The point is that this was my first manga that I've read, and I enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it enough that I think I will look for more by this guy. If there's anything else maybe of a similar nature to this by other, was it author or artist? What would be the word to use? Whatever. If you know of anything of a similar nature to this, feel free to recommend, because I'm just trying to explore things. I like to be adventurous with my entertainment and look for things that I normally don't watch, just to broaden that horizon, I guess. When I thought of the idea to just do a video talking about this book, I'll be honest, it really just seemed like a simple idea, and I feel like I've done nothing but ramble on and on. And well, hopefully it was entertaining at least.